The Hampshire is a stone throw away from Santon Central Business District. Construction has commenced, with completion scheduled for the last quarter of 2020.
Welcome to your next home. This is the perfect room if you're looking to expand the family. It's perfect. There's a kids' room or a playroom.
Did you say playroom?
Yeah, playroom.
It's not been very bad.
You know what, let me give you a moment. I'm gonna feed the pancake.
Yeah, you go feed the...
Sanbonani, Dumelang, Goeiemorgen, and good day to everyone that is joining us. The name is Mandisa Mgadi, and welcome to our developer show. Today we are joined by Akbar, who is the founder and managing director of Fugitive Property. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Mandisa. Thank you for having me.
It's only a pleasure, and thank you for giving us your time today. Happy Father's Day to you and all our daddies out there who are watching the show.
Thank you. And happy Father's Day to all the dads and fathers.
Thank you so much. So we're just going to get straight into it. Now, the importance of any property investment, the relationship, definitely I would say depends on the buyer investor and the relationship that they have with the developer. Purchasing property, whether it's a property, land, or just a unit, it can be a very lengthy and overwhelming experience, which is why, the aim of this show is to just bring our viewers closer to our developers and the company, the reputation that they've had in the property industry. Now, just mentioning that, can you just talk us through where would you say it all started for Futuredev Property?
Okay, thank you, Mandisa. So much of what we've done pre-2016 was done in either collaboration or JV or partnership. But in 2016, we took a view to be an independent, and we chose a focus being Santon Central, and we wanted to work in the suburbs immediately bordering Santon Central. Now, Santon Central, is known as Africa's richest square mile, and we identified with all the development happening between all the new head offices or corporates relocating to Santon Central Business District, that if we had to choose a focus, we'd like to be working in and around where the core of development is in South Africa. We then identified the suburbs of Morningside and Bryanston, and further than that, we identified that we'd like to be in the cluster home space. And that being the full title, freestanding cluster home. And since 2016, we've really become a leader, I would say, in the full title freestanding cluster home offering between the 3 and 4 million price point. So there's a lot happening, either north of 4 million or under 4 million. There's a lot happening in the sectional space as well. But we've identified that the space we'd like to work and enjoy, that we believe we'd also be able to offer a product that serves the need of a market that is currently based in Central. This is between the 3 and 4 million rand price point. So since 2016, that's all we've been doing. We've been carrying out a number of cluster developments, 4 to 5 a year, every year, and we enjoy that space.
Now, Akbar, I hear that, most of your, well, all of your development, are based in and around the Sandton area. For someone who's, not familiar with the place, what would you say is the attraction to this area?
Okay. So you've got let's call Sandton Central the metropolis, so to say, that everyone wants to go into for business, that people travel to for medical, for business, and other. And then you've got the suburbs bordering Sandton Central. So and you've got all the amenities around this area. So what is the attraction to our developments is that you're really a stone throw away from Sandton Central Business District. You've got some of the best hospitals within very close proximity to you, and you've got options of all the big hospitals close by. You've got all the smaller shopping centers very close by as well. So again, you've got options on shopping. Schools, we are so well located to a number of the schools, or a variety of all the schools. If I can list them, we're close to Red Hill, the French School, Crawford, Montrose Primary, Bryanston Primary, Bryan Evans. So there are so many options from a shopping center perspective, from a business perspective, from a medical perspective, and just from a pure leisure perspective as well, that you could stay in one of our homes. You're not in the center of the central business district. You're just on the borders of that, but with all the amenities close by. And a very important thing is the fact that you're living in suburbs which are listed as some of the most sought after suburbs, which lends itself to brilliant capital growth or capital appreciation. So those are some of the attractions which we believe are key to our development.
Investing in a well-located development is vital and is very important, I would say. So thank you for that, Akbar. Just bringing out a point where all your developments are situated in this one geographical area, which obviously promotes a lot of capital growth for any investments, which is key. So when you are approached, or right now because of COVID, obviously, when we get a phone call from a potential buyer and an investor, what are the services that will be provided for them in terms of what does a Futuredev agent offer them?
Okay. Mandisa, I don't think the offering comes, in fact, I would say the offering of the services are not only limited to what an agent can offer. I would rather say that we as a team, what we offer. Most of my buyers will tell you that I personally get involved in every transaction. We have in-house architects, 2 of them. So our architects get involved as well in the process. We have links and very strong relationships with bond originators. They get involved in the process. So what am I saying is that when there's a potential buyer that's looking to buy, I make the calls myself along with the team. If there are questions that need to be answered that maybe the sales agent is unclear of for whatever reason, I get involved myself. We invite the buyers over into our offices. We have a chat with them. It's a very open door policy with us. We're not as big a developer that we don't interact, or we don't want to interact with our buyer. And we get involved with advice as well. Advice in terms of where there are options for the buyers around color schemes, and a few additions that they would like to make, which we permit. We get involved after understanding the buyer, their dynamic, their family dynamic, and how they would like to live, how many people are living in the home. We get involved from every perspective. We give every buyer an opportunity to come into the office, interact with our architects, interact with myself, give them some advice. There are some buyers that don't want to make any change because they just love our offering. And there are other buyers that we can see that love to make a statement, and we then get involved in proposing those taps or basins or finishes that would make the statement that is suitable to their lives and their status. What does this agent offer? An agent offers quite a bit, but I think every buyer has interacted with not only our agent, but almost the entire team in our office, including myself.
So the team really offers a very personal relationship with the buyer, which is really important because it can be a very lengthy and stressful process. And you want to have a team that's, backing you all the way through from the beginning and to the end. Now, obviously, the demand for residential property in the Sandton area has grown. How would you say Fugitive Property has been able to fill the gap in the South African property market?
Okay. Mandisa, we catering for a market that would ordinarily, or I would say previously, not be able to live in these suburbs. If you go onto a very well-known website called privateproperty.co.za and you search cluster home, or you search 4-bedroom and you search full title, you'll see most of what's available is north of 5, 6, 7 million rand. So we're not saying it's a gap. We're saying it's a solution that we're providing, that we're now affording buyers that would ordinarily, that want to, but would not be able to because the entry is too high. We're now giving them an opportunity to come and live close to work. These are the professionals that are based at all the corporates in Sandton Central, that are currently or previously commuting from the East Rand, from the South, spending 2-3 hours a day from Pretoria, having to use public transport, that actually want to live close to their workplace so that they're more efficient and they have a better quality of lifestyle, not having to spend all their time traveling. We now give them an opportunity to live close to work, to live in a suburb that is considered an upmarket, luxurious suburb, and enjoy all the benefits of living in these suburbs. And we also know that these professionals don't want to live in freestanding homes. They're a very busy individual. They want a lock up and go scenario. They don't want the headache of having to worry about safety, security, and so on. So by us developing these cluster or residential estates with all these characteristics, that's what we've managed to fulfill, is a need for a professional that was desirous of living in these suburbs, but for whatever reason found 5 million and above too much. And we now between 3 and 4 million rand price point give them an opportunity to live in these suburbs.
With the amazing offerings that you are making available, to potential buyers and investors, and the solutions that that you have found and are making resources to meet the gap in the property industry, I'm sure there must be some challenges that do come up, just like any company, and especially with COVID and the effect that it has had on our economy. Maybe if you can just share with us some of these challenges and how are you able to navigate through that, and what are some of the ways that you're still operating, to still reach out to your clientele, and tools that you're making use of during this time?
Most certainly, every business, including ourselves, we face challenges. Mandisa, I believe we're a very resilient business. And whenever we face challenges in the market, we can go back to the drawing board as opposed to being affected by external circumstances, because they will always pop up. So what we're always doing is we're looking at the buyer's needs and what the buyer would need to be able to make it a hassle-free process. So with COVID coming up, I would say we were slightly a step ahead, possibly, of everyone else in the market. The reason being is we were already resorting to virtual tours, photorealistic renders, enough to be able to convince a buyer before having to actually go out to site or meet with us that this is the product that he wants. And then with COVID coming on board, I think we entered into the lockdown slightly prepared. And what that did was, again, it looked at what we're offering, and we've now increased, and we've looked to additional resources and means that we need to resort to. So things like augmented reality, and so on and so forth. So yes, business will always be challenging, but I believe with us being a small to, I'd rather say instead of small to medium, I would say a small size business, our ability to innovate, to change, to adapt accordingly, we can make decisions a lot quicker. And so yes, COVID, the only challenge I would say that COVID presented to us is the fact that we weren't able to be on site. And it gave us an opportunity to seriously look at what we were doing in the past, which we thought was a luxury, and now realize that it's actually a necessity. You know, we have buyers from throughout the country and neighboring countries as well. And we can send our buyers these augmented reality 360 views, photorealistic renders, and they really feel like they're experiencing the home, which is what many people have had to start doing on the onset of COVID. It was only then that they realized we still need to continue business. We have to do it slightly differently now. So we will continue to innovate, to look at creative ways of adapting and being ahead of any challenge that may pose itself. So I'm saying that I think there was a positive impact on us because we were prepared, we didn't back down, and we're willing to do whatever it takes to stay ahead and remain successful in the offering.
Now, Akbar, in terms of the sale process, how, in light of COVID, obviously, how have you all found that, you know, are you finding like more potential buyers are interested right now to invest in property, or are people more skeptical about it? And what would you advise our buyers right now?
Okay. What we've learned is we need to be a lot more patient with buyers, and we need to take them through a journey of making the decision. That was definitely an important thing we've learned. Whereas previously, we could send a buyer a brochure, and we could say, we'll meet you today, later, or tomorrow, or on the weekend on site, and have the one-to-one interaction. We're now realizing that we need to furnish them with all the information, remotely or virtually, so that they can have time to go through it and actually hold their hand for a lot longer until that point that they're willing to make the decision. Is there skepticism from buyers? I think for buyers that know what they want, we've seen that they've come forward, signed offers, entered into purchases with us, irrespective. And then for those buyers, I would say that were speculating and unsure, and them being more the investor buyers, they've decided to hold their forward. But owner-occupier really wanted to buy a home, but were intent on moving. We've seen even through this lockdown and COVID, have still followed through with their purchases. But it's a slower process, but we've used that slow process to educate our buyer, to hold their hand through the process, not leaving them to a bit of information and having to make a decision. Has it been challenging? I think that there's still I can't really say that we've seen a sudden decline or anything. I'm saying that It's business as usual. We've just had to be very creative and very innovative on how we conduct our business. There's definitely skepticism. I myself spoke to a buyer 2 days ago. And again, they're at that point where they want to make the decision. And I think they are not subject to um, the, the harms of COVID or the financial setbacks of COVID, but they're seeing what's happening around them in the news, maybe their colleagues, and wondering if they're next. And that's the only reason they do. I think the minute we get out of this, so to say, those very same buyers, they get an inkling of certainty, will once again come follow through with their purchases.
Thank you so much, Akbar. So guys, we're just going to take a quick break and we will be back. Just be sure if you have any questions to hit us up down below on the comment section and we will be sure to answer all of your questions. Remember, if you are looking to buy, sell or list your property, that you can go onto our website. That's www.privateproperty.co.za. We will be back right after this.
The Hampshire, located at 39 North Road in Morningside, consists of 14 full title freestanding homes. Priced from 3.599 million rand, the price includes VAT, and no transfer duty is applicable. Each home has an open-plan lounge, dining room and kitchen. A pajama lounge or study, double garage, and optional staff quarters. The Hampshire has 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms. The Hampshire is a stone throw away from Sandton Central Business District. Construction has commenced, with completion scheduled for the last quarter of 2020.
Welcome to your next home. This is the perfect room if you're looking to expand the family. It's perfect. There's a kids' room or a playroom.
Did you say playroom?
Yeah, playroom.
I've been very bad.
You know what, let me give you a moment. I'm gonna feed the pancake.
Yeah, you go feed the...
Welcome back to everyone that is viewing our show. We are still joined by Akbar, who is the founder and managing director of Fugitive Property located in the Sandton area. Well, we're just now going to just go straight into it and talk about the development today, which is 39 on North in Morningside. I'm so excited to hear all about it. Akbar, can you just tell us the type of buyer and investor this development appeals to?
The offering there is a 4-bedroom, all ensuite, guest bathroom at on the ground floor. So 4-bedroom, 4.5 bathroom, open plan lounge, dining room and kitchen, with a pajama lounge or a study upstairs on the first floor, a double garage, and it's a freestanding cluster home with its own private garden. So that's the offering. Who does it appeal to? I think it appeals to most people that really want to live in the Morningside, Bryanston area. It appeals to families because of the 4-bedroom offering. There's enough for the kids. A study appeals to individuals that have family members that visit regularly, because there's the so-called 3rd or 4th bedroom for visitors or guests. It appeals to people that like a lock up and go scenario. without having to worry about all the maintenance and so on. People that want safety. Our developments have 24-hour man security, CCTV access control. So there's a lot that goes to a buyer. I think any buyer that has any of these requirements, that is looking for all of this with a low cost of living, that's living in an amazing suburb close to it would appeal to almost anyone. So the 4-bedroom offering is quite unique in a cluster home. Most of the cluster developments are 3-bed offering, or even if there are 4-bed offerings, all en suite scenario, pajama lounge, the open plan. It's got everything that you would want.
Well, I would definitely say that the pajama lounge appeals to me. So sold on that. Now, Akbar, what is the price range that we're looking at with this development? Is there any additional cost to it? Are you asking for a securing deposit?
Okay. Mandisa, we used to ask for a deposit in the past, and that being 10%. These days, we leave it up to the buyer to pledge any sort of amount that they're comfortable with. Obviously, on the proviso, or in the understanding, knowing that for those that are buying through a bond, with a bond, knowing that if they get a 90% bond, they'd have to top up whatever that initial deposit was. So banks could grant 80, 90, and even 100% bonds. And then as long as the buyer understands that they will have to top that initial deposit up, we're quite comfortable to accept anything. We've had buyers come forward and immediately want to put 20, 30%. It goes into the attorney's trust account. It's safe. All the sales or offers are subject to bond approval. So never a chance of losing your money. Whether it's little or much, it's big. So really, we've had some buyers that said they're not prepared to put a deposit. Let go through the bond approval or bond application process, and whatever the difference is, they would pay, and we've seen them follow through as well. We do make it clear, though, to get some indication from the buyer that whether they have the ability to raise the deposit, perchance they get an 80, 70% bond. And if it's negative, we never turn a sale away. We never walk away from a sale, but we let the buyer know that it's upon them. So that's as far as the deposit goes. As far as additional costs go, there's the attorney's costs for registering the transfer of the land. That gets paid directly to the attorneys. There's the cost for opening the rates taxes account at the City of Joburg. Again, that gets paid directly to the City of Joburg or to the consultant that assists with the opening of the rates accounts, facilitating the Pick It Up, Johannesburg Water, City Power or Eskom accounts. And then there's the NHBC fee. So all these fees that are additional costs get paid directly to service providers, not us.
So the development, I had a chance to obviously go on the website and just have a look at the offering and the inside and, the design of it, which I must say is very unique. Can you just talk us through the design of the development and how would you say Futuredev has been able to consider the environment in this development?
Okay. Firstly, from a design perspective, Mandisa, I would say that you'll notice, and I think the video is playing or has been playing, that we have a very efficient design. So there's efficiency of architecture, efficiency of design, efficiency of layout that we've, I would say, almost perfected. What I mean by that is we leave no wasted space. We don't build any space or area or square meterage that will not be able to be used or utilized. So we have a very efficient layout. Our efficiency factor is very high, north of 98%. So that allows us to give you a product without any wasted space, yet offer you everything that you require. So that allows us to stay in a price point because we're not building any unnecessary space and you're not paying for any unusable space. So that's one important thing on our architecture. It's our efficient architectural layout. From an energy saving perspective or environment, we do the energy efficient heat pumps. We do LED, so energy saving LED lighting, downlighters with an anti-glare that adds to the efficiency as well. We have gas as an option as opposed to conventional heating. So I think that just played on the video now as well. Gas fireplace as opposed to electric, so that helps electrical consumption. And one important thing is, and I'll very briefly touch on it, philosophical, is that development in particular has the principles of biogeometry implemented on that site. Now, biogeometry is the science of harmonizing the environment. We implement architecture and principles on the site, design principles that reduce the harmful effects of radiation, heater, cell phone towers, electromagnetic radiation, etc. So this site, in particular, 39 on North, has a principle on that site which essentially will give the person that's buying on that site a better quality of it. So we're constantly thinking about, not just selling, thinking about our offer so that we can add value to ourselves, as well as to the environment.
I think you raised such an important fact that no one would actually want to pay for space that they're not using. So, considering the space of the development and the home offering, and utilizing that to its fullest, it's such an important fact. It's also imperative to build a healthy relationship with all parties that are involved in the property process, which is why as private property, we aim to give a bigger reach and voice to our developers. Akbar, how would you say this has helped the brand of Futuredev Property?
Well, during COVID, I could rely on private property's reach without having to do much. The initiatives that private property has put forward, keeping in mind that they also need to innovate to be able to maintain their reach and maintain their customer base and us as developers, has benefited us directly, this being one of the initiatives. But private property has become a portal or a platform which we as a developer, I would say, probably never dissolve of, because where the market that we can't reach, you allow us to reach that market. And when we innovating and thinking of ways, we're still present on the platform. Buyers know that when they're looking for property, they go onto the web, and private property is one of the top portals to look. So we have this level of comfort, whatever we're doing from a social media or any other advertising perspective, for as long as our developments are listed on private property, we're able to reach a market we would not be able to reach ourselves. Or platform.
Thank you so much, Akbar. It's been such a pleasure having you on the show. As you were just talking to the developments that you'll have in the Sandton area and specifically 39 on North, we look forward to talking more with you, about your other developments that you have. But guys, if you have any questions for today's show, do make sure to hit us up on the comment section and we'll be sure to answer it. Thank you so much again, Akbar, for joining us.
Thank you so much to yourselves and the viewers and private property. We look forward to it.
Thank you. Just remember, guys, if you are looking to buy, sell, or list your property, that you can go onto our website. That's www.privateproperty.co.za. And be sure to check our live broadcast that we have from Monday to Friday, hosted by the amazing Zama. But until next weekend, goodbye.
The Hampshire, located at 39 North Road in Morningside, consists of 14 full title freestanding homes. Priced from 3.599 million rand. The price includes VAT, and no transfer duty is applicable. Each home has an open-plan lounge, dining room and kitchen. A pajama lounge or study, double garage, and optional staff quarters. The Hampshire has 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms. The Hampshire is a stone throw away from Sandton Central Business District. Construction has commenced, with completion scheduled for the last quarter of 2020.
Hi, I'm Brian Kepper. I'm a 10-time South African motorcycling champion. My family and I have chosen to live in Fourways. There's some really great suburbs in our neighborhood. There's a lot of families living in the surrounding areas, in places like Lone Hill and Cedar Lakes. What draws people to Cedar Lakes is that it's so close to the Broadacre Shopping Centre, Cedar Square, and Fourways Life Hospital. Lone Hill is a major draw card for many families. It's got some great smaller commercial centres and some fantastic schools like Crawford College. From an entertainment point of view, Monte Casino really comes alive at night. There's so much on the go, and there's an incredible energy in the area. Our family just loves the fast-paced lifestyle that Fourways brings. But honestly, the thing that attracted us most to this area was the active lifestyle that it offers. As a family, we've chosen to live in Fourways because of the lifestyle and convenience, and this is our neighborhood.
Welcome to your next home. This is the perfect room if you're looking to expand the family. It's perfect. There's a kids' room or a playroom.
Did you say playroom?
Yeah, playroom.
So I've been very bad.
You know what, let me give you a moment. I'm gonna feed the pancake.
Yeah, you go feed
Okay.
the...